Hi, this is Charles. As it's Mental Health Week, I just felt incredibly compelled after listening to some stuff on the television and radio this morning to record this really short video to make a couple of points. The first point I want to make is that everybody talks about depression and anxiety as if they're the same thing. Let's just understand this from a neurophysiological perspective. They are not the same thing. They are not related. They are completely separate conditions. In fact, so much so that you cannot suffer from clinical depression and anxiety simultaneously. So if you've got OCD, agoraphobia, PTSD, derealization, depersonalization, eating disorders, health anxiety, emetophobia, or any of those things, you haven't also got depression. You may be suffering from low mood, but it isn't clinical depression. Okay? The second point I want to make, which is massively misunderstood online, is that I constantly hear people say that in terms of anxiety disorders, what works for one person may not work for another, and vice versa. This is absolutely not true. We are all made to the human blueprint. We are all made to the same psychophysiological and physiological blueprint that evolution has handed us. So, this means that when somebody says, well, we had a guy on television this morning saying, for me, pills didn't work. I used other therapies. Somebody else said, oh, for me, therapy helped me. None of them said they were recovered, by the way. Just so that you know, none of them said they were recovered. They all said that they still suffer. But apart from that, the interviewers were stating constantly, and I hear it constantly in all the media, that you have to find the therapy that suits you. Well, just because a therapy suits you doesn't mean it's going to be productive. The point is this: if you suffer from an anxiety disorder, you can recover fully. You don't need to manage it. You don't need to take medication. You don't need to go for therapy. You can recover completely. And you can recover using the same process. Because actually the truth of it is that just like the cure for a cut skin being your body's ability to send skin cells to the cut and close the gap, that is a system that has been created by evolution in humans to keep us safe and to repair our bodies. It's just like eating to cure hunger. It is a preset psychological, deeply psychological manifestation of our ability to identify that we need food, eat food, and use that fuel to stay alive. It's psychophysiological, it's physiological, it's neurological, it's endocrinological. All of those systems work together to create and maintain balance in our systems. Therefore, the only solution for anxiety disorders is the thing that reaches into the head and corrects the imbalance, that corrects the disorder, gets rid of the disorder and returns you to order. Order is fear response. Fear is the emotion. Anxiety is the disorder of the emotion of fear. You can get rid of the disorder and get rid of OCD, agoraphobia, and all those things I listed before. But you don't do it chemically. You can't do it chemically. There is no medicine you can take that will get rid of an anxiety disorder, because the only way to get rid of an anxiety disorder medicinally would to develop a drug that gets rid of fear, the core fear. Because anxiety is fear. It's just fear diarrhea. Does that make sense? And you can't talk about your fears and anxieties to get rid of a disorder. It's a systemic disorder. You can't reason with it any more than, if you get indigestion, you can sit down and talk to somebody about how it makes your stomach feel and get rid of it. It's an absolute nonsense. It's a systemic disorder. It's a disorder of something that we have absolutely no conscious control of. Talking about it and sharing our thoughts and sharing our worries isn't going to help that. And certainly keeping anxiety diaries and visiting a therapist and rating your anxiety levels and trying to change your conscious thoughts, it's just a complete waste of time. It won't work, because that's the way the brain and body work. I just wanted to make this clear because there is so much misinformation being banded around during this Mental Health Awareness Week. It's all right for people to say be aware of mental health. I think it's a good thing to be aware that people suffer. But I think more importantly, isn't it a good thing to understand how they can recover? Instead of talking about it constantly and discussing it and scratching the old wounds, isn't it important for those people to reach the appropriate advice and appropriate treatment methodologies that bring about recovery? I don't understand it. Maybe it's because none of them are capable of doing it. Maybe it's because they want to make money out of it. I don't know why they do it. But ultimately, if you suffer from any kind of mental disequilibrium, you can get fast relief. You don't need to manage this anymore. So anybody that says to you, it might work, it might not work, you take these and try them, or try something else, don't listen to it. It's a waste of your time and energy, okay? So feel positive about this message, because I'm telling you, you don't have to suffer this way, okay? This is the biggest boost you'll ever get I've helped tens of thousands of people, over 214,000 people so far. I have never ever met somebody who can't recover. Okay? So please, for this Mental Health Awareness Week, be aware that you can recover. Okay? And take care. Oh, and just one more thing to finish off. You're not mentally ill, by the way. Although these people categorise you as mentally ill, and it's brought into this mental health awareness thing, there's actually nothing wrong with you mentally. You're actually better than good. Take that message on board, because it's absolutely true. Okay, take care.